We're in San Bernardino along Route 66, which goes from California over to Illinois and enjoys an international reputation as being a slice of old-time Americana. Now, it's probably more accurate to describe this section of Southern California as like a slice of Mexicana, given the fact that this area has become inundated with illegal aliens and their family members as a result of open borders policies, sanctuary city policies in Southern California, and of course the 1986 immigration amnesty. And this is a billboard for gubernatorial candidate Meg Whitman, who has never held political office of any kind, but she does want to be the governor of California. She's very financially successful, and she's been spending a whole lot of her own money speaking to the people of California and talking about a number of subjects. This particular billboard talks about the subject matter of illegal immigration, which has been a key topic during her campaign, because it's a key topic in the state of California, where there are more illegal aliens than any other place in the United States. Now, what you saw stated on that billboard is hardly the first thing that Ms. Whitman has said about the subject of illegal immigration. Although for the first few months of her candidacy, people were unsure where she stood on the issue because she hadn't said anything. That changed when she made a very well-publicized appearance down at the San Ysidro border, and at that time she made it clear that she favors the idea of an amnesty for people who are in this country unlawfully. Specifically, she stated, quote, "Nationwide, there may be as many as 12.5 million that have come to this country illegally. And my view is that we simply cannot deport 12.5 million people to their home countries. It's simply not practical. So what is the next best solution? In my view, the next best solution is, can we get a fair program where people stand at the back of the line, they pay a fine, unquote, etc., etc." The problem for Ms. Whitman in mouthing these words is that at that time she was running in a Republican primary, and those sentiments went over like a lead balloon. Specifically, what had been a very large double-digit advantage she had enjoyed in the polls over her next nearest competitor dropped to almost single digits in a matter of a few short months. And at that time, Ms. Whitman decided it was in her best interest to start changing her tune. Obviously caught by surprise about the reaction to an issue that she personally didn't consider to be particularly important, she responded by having produced and quickly released a very expensive series of ads wherein she portrayed herself as in fact someone who is, quote, tough as nails, unquote, on illegal immigration. In fact, she even got former Governor Pete Wilson to shill for her, and here's what they had to say.
Meg Whitman on illegal immigration.
Don't be fooled by misleading ads. My position on immigration is crystal clear. Illegal immigrants are just that, illegal. I am 100% against amnesty for illegal immigrants, period. As governor, I will crack down on so-called sanctuary cities like San Francisco, who thumb their nose at our laws. Illegal immigrants should not expect benefits from the state of California. No driver's license, and no admission to state-funded institutions of higher education. And I'll create an economic fence to crack down on employers who break the law by using illegal labor.
This is former Governor Pete Wilson. I know how important it is to stop illegal immigration, and I know Meg Whitman. Meg will be tough as nails on illegal immigration. She'll fight to secure our border and go after sanctuary cities. Please join me in supporting Meg Whitman for governor.
Paid for by Meg Whitman for Governor 2010. Meg2010.com.
Well, they worked. Those ads and having an enormous campaign war chest far larger than any opponent propelled her to a relatively easy victory over Steve Poizner in the Republican primary. And almost no sooner than the primary was over, Ms. Whitman and her advertisement team prepared a new set of ads and new series of statements to be presented to Univision and other Spanish-language media. In her retooled message on the subject of immigration, Ms. Whitman went to great pains to make it clear that her position on immigration is really not that much different than those positions held by Democrats.
Truth is that Jerry Brown is really virtually no different than I am on immigration.
But she didn't stop there. In fact, she had a whole lot more to say, particularly about her opposition to the new laws in Arizona and Proposition 187.
Ella respeta a nuestra comunidad. Es la republicana que se opone a la ley de Arizona y se opuso a la Proposición 187. Ella significa un cambio real. Tiene un plan específico para una nueva California, con más trabajos, mejores escuelas y menos burocracia. Nos incluye a todos. Conozcan a Meg Whitman, una candidata diferente y la gobernadora que California necesita.
By the way, for those of you who follow politics and have been watching recent elections, I'm wondering how much of this is beginning to sound familiar. So one of the questions California voters will be faced with when they enter the ballot boxes this November is, do you believe what Meg Whitman has been saying? And if so, which of the things that she's been saying are you choosing to believe?